Hi, everyone. Welcome to special presentation with Mike and Ethan. Or,
Alf will not be seen tonight.
remind me, Mike, have you been to Finland?
I've never been to Finland.
Okay. Okay, well, I had a intro set up based on that. Okay, let's pretend you had been to Finland.
Hmm.
And oh, wait, no. Oh, I lost it. Help!
Well,
Okay, we're doing
let's.
we're doing Tove Jansson,
Yeah, who's that? The guy that did this thing that made the
the lady
thing?
who did the thing. Yes,
Oh, the lady, a lady. Tove Jansson is a
to-
lady. Well,
yes, Tove Jansson is a lady, and of course, and one of the best-known lesbian cartoonists. In fact, so
good for her. Good for
yes,
her.
there
Um.
is a character. So there's a character who is in fact based on her wife.
Oh,
So,
which character?
not in what we watched. The character is called Tutiki, and Tutiki is a variant on her actual wife's name, which was Tuliki.
Well, that's adorable. And I guess this is that is the defining trait of Moomin is things are adorable. Um,
Yes, we are doing Moomin, and this is some of you might be like, "Oh, you're getting out of your comfort zone again." It's like, no, no, this is safely in our comfort zone because Tove Jansson. What I'm pronouncing it the way Strong Sad said it. I might be getting it wrong. Tove Jansson was not only an author, she was in fact a newspaper cartoonist, and she adapted many of the Moomin stories she did for the daily newspaper strip into books, and vice versa.
oh well, I didn't know that. I know very little about Moomin except the fact that it exists and it's adorable. I guess
Yes,
people love Moomin.
love that Moom.
They love the Moom. Yeah, no, like I don't know. I
They
mean,
love the Moom.
my main knowledge of Moomin is just that there's a certain kind of person who likes Moomin a lot and kind of like a Disney adult, but you know, it's like if you're like really into Studio Ghibli type stuff. You might be
Yeah,
a Moomin person, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But other than that, I don't know a whole lot about Moomin. It
are
is.
there
I
Ghibli
understood
adults?
there are lots of Ghibli adults. If you're a Ghibli adult and you're like, oh, I love the Ghibli adults usually like Ghibli because it's like, oh, it's so it's cute and you can look at food and feel cozy, or as they
Yep.
say in Finland, higgy.
That's
Higgy.
Denmark.
Oh, that's Denmark.
Huge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I'm
That
sure
sort of thing.
every people all over the Nordic countries have picked up Hugo because it's something that the Danish won't shut up about. Like me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it's hard to be humble when you're Danish, as they say. And this is yeah. So that's a thing. It's that kind of thing that Ghibli adults like about Ghibli, and probably what the similar sort of Moomin adult likes about Moomin. And
Yes.
that's I think probably you can guess from my tone of voice that I wasn't super taken with Moomin, but I think
But
it, but mhm.
it's better than a lot of the things we watched. I'll tell you that much.
It's
It's way the
not
hell
bad.
better than the Fabulous Funnies.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, this is something that like I watched and I was like, this is cute, and it would be, and if I was a kid, if I was still a child, I would probably love this. This would be great. This is
Uh,
great for kids, and there's nothing bad about it. I just, as a curmudgeon, I'm just kind of like, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. It's that moom. It's the moomster.
yep.
He's that guy that the kids like. But let's talk about what do we know about Hove Janssen, Tove
Yes.
Janssen? What do we know
To-
about this artistic lesbian?
Tove Jansson did numerous books about the Moomin family. I think something like 10, not
Mm.
counting like picture books and board books and stuff, because Moomin is a massive phenomenon in its home country and many other places. Obviously, Japan absolutely adored it because the characters are so kawaii.
Oh yeah,
And
that's a shock.
but the anime adaptation of Moomin is not the only one. There's also a stop motion version from Poland.
I think I might have seen that one, but not as an actual stop motion thing, because I do remember when I was younger being at a friend's house and just for whatever reason looking through their like bookshelf, and they had like a picture book of Moomin, but the pictures were obviously stills from a stop motion film.
Hmm. Yeah, I think there were a lot of those.
Yeah, I just remember it had something to do with Moomin going to an island, and there was this barometer that was just there, and
Oh.
a bunch of Hattie Fatteners were showing up in boats. And the Hattie Fatteners were really jazzed about this barometer for some reason. They liked
Oh
this
yeah.
barometer. I don't. I assume that's a thing in the books. I don't know. I'm not really
And you
sure.
do, and now some of our listeners might be like, "Oh, Hattie Fatteners, tell us more." But no, it's not what you're thinking. They're
No.
more like a living coral reef than anything else.
Yeah, they kind of look like when you see them, they look like the what are those fucking single cell organisms, Stentori or
Yeah,
Vorticelli or
yeah.
something, you know? Yeah, they
They
look a
look
little
like
like
a
that.
they look like the shyest little wacky waving inflatable tube man. He's like,
Yeah,
"Oh, I
yeah.
don't know, where do I start?"
Yeah, they're cute. Like many things
Yeah.
in the world of Moomin, they're cute. Um
Yes. And like
so
many things in the world of Moomin, they are not explained. If you read Tolkien, The Hobbit starts with a whole thing where he goes, "Well, what is a hobbit? Maybe it's probably been so long since you've seen one, you need me to describe them." Nothing is ever described in here. We're just the books are just like, and then a Hemulan came in. It's like, what the fuck is a Hemulan? It doesn't. She never describes anything because she's a cartoonist. She can draw it for you.
So a Hemulan, because we see at least one in this
Yes.
thing. That's different than a Moomin. Is that
Yes,
my?
it's a yeah, yes. Okay, a Moomin, or I mean, the main character is actually named Moomin Troll, so I guess I assumed that they were trolls, but no, he seems to be a Moomin whose name is Troll, so that's
Uh,
confusing.
gotcha.
And
Okay.
yes, but if you think of it that way, if Moomins are trolls, then Hemulans are orcs.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, they kind of look like Moomins, but like with slightly narrower snouts, as far as I
Yes,
can tell.
and
Um,
taller. Yeah,
gotcha.
the other there are actually two Hemulans that are major characters in the book, but each of them is just both of them are just called the Hemulan, which is could you get any more confusing?
Yeah, I feel that's a little confusing. All right. We also have there's a lot of things in this world because we also
Yes.
get uh whatever Sniff is. I guess
Yeah,
he's a
Sniff. He kind of looks like. I remember the cartoons where Sylvester gets beaten up by a baby kangaroo that he thinks is a giant mouse. That's kind
yes,
of what
yes.
Sniff looks like.
Yes. And then there's
Sniff is
like
really annoying. He's like if Starscream were a good guy.
yeah, I do not like Sniff. Sniff is kind of your I guess I don't know what you'd call this character archetype. He's like a kind of like
Shaggy.
yeah, he's a Shaggy. Yeah, exactly. He's the comic relief who is basically like very lazy and cowardly and greedy and just like all the negative traits of
Yeah.
a yeah. Um, and then we get a bunch of there are things that are like people, I guess, because there's like
Yeah. It's an interesting world. It's not exactly an anthropomorphic world because some of the people are, in fact, anthropomorphic animals and some are not. Some of them are something that you would not be able to identify at first glance.
yeah. Because like there's some people we get Snufkin. He's a looks like a guy. He looks
Yeah,
like
Snufkin is just this kind of guy, and a lot of ladies really like Snufkin.
I can see it. He looks like Snufkin looks like he would be an Adventure Time character.
Yeah, he really does. He looks like for what's her name, Wizard Forest Princess, something like that.
Yeah. And there's like and then there's like what Little May, who seems to
Little
also be
Mai,
Little
yes.
Mai.
Okay, so yeah, there is this character Yeah, there is a character called the Mimble, who is this kind of teenage girl, and she has this bratty sister named Little Mai, who is honestly the best character because she is, she has absolutely no filter and will call everyone on their shit. In fact, it seems to kind of calling people on their shit seems to be her catchphrase.
Yeah, she's amusing. She's probably
Yes.
one of my favorites in this.
Yeah, just imagine a little girl with her hair in a very tight bun who always looks like she just thought of the worst possible thing to say and can't wait to say it.
Yeah. She's got a very she has a very kind of just she's like stirring the shit. She's entertaining.
Yeah.
She seems like she's a small person. Like she doesn't her proportions indicate that she is just small. I don't know. I didn't catch on that
Yeah.
she was supposed to be like a kid, but I
She is
guess
a little girl. Yeah, her sister is taller than her, but none of them are especially large, except for their mother, who, when she's first introduced in the book Moominland Midwinter, Moomin says to her, "Hello, you seem to be made all out of round parts."
it sounds hot.
That's one thing I will say about Moomin is that if I had gotten into it at a younger age, it would have completely warped the way I speak in the same way that Homestar Runner did later on in life.
Oh yeah, I think Moomin does kind of have a distinctive speech pattern.
Cadence, yeah.
Yeah. It's from the 40s or something, I think.
Yeah, sometime between like the 50s and 60s, actually.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I've got the first book of the comic strip right here.
Mm.
Let's see if it actually gives the dates.
There,
It doesn't.
yeah, there is a distinctive, like you said, cadence. It reminds me how it's something that I feel like you saw a lot more in comic strips of those eras. The way that, like, characters in Popeye all have a very peculiar way of talking,
Yeah.
and a lot of older comic strips seem to have done that. I think many of them were kind of trying to imitate various like ethnic and regional accents, but
Yeah.
which you don't get much anymore. But in any case, yeah. So those are, I think, are those the main characters, I guess, or who else is?
Yeah. Later on, we meet a couple of other Moomins whose names are Snork and the Snork Maiden, which is just like, hi, I'm Dave, and this is my sister, Girl Dave.
I mean, that's kind of funny, honestly. I was kind of when honestly, again, I'm being a little churlish, but when they said like, oh yeah, it's the Snork, I was just kind of like, yeah, of course it's the Snork. Of course they would call someone Snork. This weird Finnish thing where everyone's got a name like Googly Moogly or whatever. Yeah, the Snork. Why not?
Yeah, of course. Why not? Come along with the Snorks.
Yeah,
Swim
come
along
along.
with the Snorks for all I care.
Yeah, swim along. Come on. Then we're gonna have the Smurf. Okay, sure. What the
Yeah.
Smurf, the Snork, the whatever.
Yeah, the
The
Astro
Snork.
Snick. That's a deep cut for you.
Oh damn! I remember the Astro Snicks, from a single coloring book.
The biscuits.
Oh yes, I remember them from their television show, and yeah, of course the Paw Paw Bears. If we're
Yes.
getting it, if we're getting there, going that direction.
Yes. Yeah. So these, and there are all. Every single one of these has a person that they're named for in the Moomin universe. So eventually, Moomin is gonna come down and meet. Is like, hi, my name is the Glow Friends, and this is my sister, the Girl Glow Friends.
Yeah, so the Snork and the Snork Maiden. I guess their deal is the Snork is like kind of a nerd. He's kind of one of those by my calculations type characters.
Of course,
And-
although we meet someone who actually says that too. So
Oh yeah, we meet a bunch of nerds in this one.
yes,
Um,
yeah. This movie is actually about a voyage to a big house of nerds.
Yes. And Snork Maiden
What we would
is
now call a nerd's gummy.
yes. Snork Maiden is a girl. That is her thing. She's
Yes.
the girl.
Her whole thing is that she is pretty. Yeah.
She's pretty. She loves flowers. She is a girl. So yeah, yeah. It was written in the 40s. What are you gonna do?
Yep.
And
But not by a man. So
no, no. Well,
makes you wonder.
Well, that's why, that you could tell it was written by a lesbian. She's like, oh, what if I put a pretty girl in there? Yeah. It's like, whatever. I get it. Relatable. I mean, why not? Who doesn't like that?
But then like I said, then there's Two Tiki, who is who is kind of gender fluid, because Two Tiki is identified as male or female depending on what property you're reading.
Oh, interesting. Okay. There's a lot happening in the world of Moomin.
Yeah.
Very much gender happening. I think there's also there's also Moomin dad and Moomin mom.
Yeah, Moomin Mama and Moomin Papa. Moomin Papa he builds a bridge and ends up destroying a muskrat's house, and the muskrat becomes a very unfriendly house guest, but they are all very nice to him.
I do like the muskrat. I think probably he was my favorite character in this whole thing, just because he's a gloomy Gus and a philosopher, and
yes, he will never let you forget that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna start showing up at people's houses and say, "Hi, I'm a philosopher. Let me in."
Yeah, it's like my house is destroyed, and that usually doesn't bother a philosopher like me. But yeah.
Philosophers don't worry about earthly things like comets.
Yeah, that is, by the way, that is the thing that is happening, ostensibly happening in this special we watched, is that there's going to be a comet that's going to,
and that's why it's called Comet in Moominland.
There's a comet in Moominland. Yes.
Yeah. Why is it Moominland? It's like how. Again, it's like Pac-Land. Everybody's a Pac person, and yet there's only one Pac-Man.
Yes. It's everyone's a everyone's a Moomin.
Is there one of these for everyone? Could I go out and find Ethan Land, where I could meet like girl Ethan and stuff, and they live in like Ethan-shaped houses.
Yeah, and you could have a dog and a cat named Ethan. Dog and Sourpuss. I don't know, what was something like that, I guess.
Chomp Chomp and Sourpuss. So
that's not a pack related name at all. Okay.
Chomp Chomp? Yeah. Sourpuss is just, probably a cat who's very angry because he found his way into this weird themed world. He can't get out.
But just imagine an Ethan world where you're like there's like, oh, there's Officer Ethan, and I don't know. You could have when you meet girl Ethan and have baby Ethan, I guess.
Yeah.
Is it baby?
Yeah, Ethan Jr. and then baby Ethan. And then really baby Ethan, I guess.
Yeah.
We're not going to stop at 2.
Yeah, there you go.
Girl Ethan is going to be into it too. I promise.
There you go. So that's what it's like to live in a cartoon. Okay. Yes. So there's a comet coming. There's a comet, and ostensibly, I guess that's a problem. So we're going. Well,
it's essentially the same plot as Bart's Comet.
Yeah, it really is. The only difference is the only real difference, I feel like, is, besides the fact that it involves Moomins instead of Bart's, is
Bartland.
Bartland,
that's where Bartman lives.
Oh yeah, that's right. They do the Bartman in Bartland. But nobody in Moominland is really very concerned with much of anything, to be honest. No. Everyone takes things very in stride. Nobody is hassled by anything. Nobody really feels like they should interrupt their normal routine for things as, paltry as a comet that will kill us all.
I mean, what are you going to do? Stand out there with a big ping pong paddle? It's a comet.
I mean, I guess everyone's pretty fatalistic about it. I do think it's funny that like the muskrat philosopher who is like, I'm gonna let the comet kill me, probably has the most rational reaction to what's happening, because at the very least he acknowledges that things are happening, whereas half of these other people just seem to have no sort of like awareness of their surroundings. You know, like we got that one guy Hemulin who's just like,
My stamp
my
collection.
stamp collection, and it's like, dude, you are going to die. There is a comet coming. Maybe I don't know. Like,
You know what's really funny is, you remember how I mentioned that there was another Hemulin.
yes.
Stamp collecting is not just this one Hemulin's thing. It's like a racial thing for Hemulins. They have to collect stamps.
Oh, okay. But you know what? Maybe this was a thing in Finland. You know.
Maybe the other one
Um,
is really into skiing, but
oh yeah, they probably do that in Finland. They have a lot of snow, I hear.
yeah.
Um,
Again, the only Moomin book I've read is Moominland Midwinter, which is I've heard described as a sort of turning point where it goes from just being wacky stuff to being kind of introspective and melancholy.
oh,
Which,
okay.
but well, my favorite line from it is that there's this little dog whose name is Sariu. What a strange name for a dog, but he is absolutely convinced that he is supposed to be out there with the wolves. He needs to be out there and running with them and being free and not eating from man's food dish. And one night he hears the wolves howling, and he guts in and is like, "Wolves, I've come to join you," and he immediately regrets it. and there's a sentence about, well, now there wouldn't be any time to apologize for how rude he'd been to the rest of them. One could only get eaten up and be rather regretful that one had acted such an ass.
Huh. Um, yeah, I maybe, yeah, I don't feel like we get a lot of the introspection in this special.
No. But I mean, there are hints of it there. Just the fact that there is a character who is a philosopher. Have we ever watched anything with a philosopher in it before?
I don't think so. I don't recall a philosopher. The muskrat has a very Dr. Seuss look to him, though. I
Oh
feel like
yeah,
he kind of looks like the Lorax a little bit, maybe.
very
Or
much so. Yeah, he's just all one big shag rug with an extra shag for mustache.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He does kind of like have that porcupine from Pogo feel to him. You know, that there's a
Yeah.
bit of introspection. I will say that, like, I think probably the characters that I like the muskrat, and I was, most, even though I wasn't particularly taken with this, because it's for kids, it's a kids movie,
Hmm.
and I'm an adult, but like it's cute. I really did not like Moomin's parents.
Really?
I was just like, oh my god, what is wrong with these two? Like, again, they felt like a parody of kind of clueless sitcom parents, the sort of way that like Dexter's mom and dad in Dexter's Lab are like very clearly like supposed to be completely clueless about everything, because no matter what is happening, it just feels like they're like going through this like 50s sitcom routine where the mom is like, "Oh, there's a comet is coming. It's time to make some tea and cake." And it's like, "What? There's a comet coming." And they're just, the fact that they just seem so clueless, I'm sure is part of the appeal, that like it's again Higgy or something, because it's
Hmm.
like, oh, they're very concerned with their little life or whatever. But I'm just
Yeah.
kind of like being like, dude,
Yeah.
maybe you should be aware of stuff. I don't know, just feel like it. Also, well, the fact that like when they're just like, they were basically like, well, a comet's coming, we're gonna send our son on a quest to the observatory. Moomin, you must do this thing. I was like, what? That's
And they say you must do it alone, and then he's like, "No, I'm bringing my friends." Oh, okay, whatever.
all right. I mean, it's a weird thing. It was like, Moomin, this is your destiny. You must go to the observatory. Okay, sure, why not? Um, yeah. So I just, Moomin mom and Moomin dad, I was just kind of like, God, these two. Just every moment they're on screen, I was like, oh God, here we go. Gotta listen to them yammer about like, whoa, oh, what about
I'm going,
like, yeah, like when they're like,
I'm going to take all the shells from the flower bed.
yeah, it's like, and like when they're like, the comet's coming, well, we have to decide what things to take from our house. And they're just completely unbothered. This incredibly slow moving, where we're like, maybe we'll take our bathtub with us so we can take a nice, pleasant bath. And then when like the world is ending and like the comet is going to cause the bathtub to like disintegrate or something, they're just like, oh no, no pleasant baths anymore. That's your concern? You're all going to die. Jiminy's. I'm sorry. Like I just it's
Drink.
I yeah. Oh what?
Hello.
Oh sorry. Did we get cut off there for a second?
No, you didn't. I just said drink because you said Jiminese.
Oh, do I guess I do say Jiminy's a lot. Is this a thing? Were you guys talking about me when I wasn't around for the other episode about
Like I oh no, you have to read the whole. You have to listen to the whole thing if you're going to find. I gave everyone the option to say one mean thing about you.
Oh no. Well, my secret weakness is people talking about me. So now I have to go listen to it because, it's like, oh no, attention. Well, that's the but the funny part is you're probably just making that up to trick me into listening to an episode where I'm not even in it.
You'll find out.
Oh,
Or maybe you
man.
won't.
Well, how long is the episode?
140 minutes.
140 minutes. Oh,
Oh no,
boy.
oh no, 1 hour 40 minutes. Not that.
Oh,
bad.
okay. I was gonna say you guys had a lot to say about
It's fucking Homestuck. Of course we did.
uh, uh, um. Well,
You
I
thought you
heard.
could escape it, but you didn't.
Well, I heard it was a good episode from what everyone's saying. So
Yeah, we were delighted. Yes.
yes, well that's good. I'm glad y'all had a fun time.
Well, thank you, Moomin Papa.
Yes, I'm glad you had a good time, Moomin son, Moomin Ethan. Um,
No, start a Moomin fire so we can make Moomin lunch.
do they do that?
No, they don't,
Oh, they
thankfully.
don't. Okay. Yeah, they do a fair amount of like nice, like, oh, we're gonna have our tea now, cookies and tea and stuff like that, where it's like, yeah, it's fine, it's fine, it's good for kids again.
Yeah, I did think it was pretty funny when the muskrat was trying to make a map of the galaxy using tea and cookies, and he spreads the cookies all over for stars. And Sniff is like, "Hey, I'm hungry," and his mom says, "Have a star."
Yeah. Well, again, this is kind of indicative of the thing here. The philosopher is trying to explain the situation here, and he's a little. Obviously, the philosopher is like kind of a blowhard, and he's kind of a little full of himself. But the fact that Moomin Mama and Moomin Papa are just so checked out about everything. Where like he's explaining the universe, and they're just like, wow, that's they're just like, wow, the universe is interesting. Well, what about tea? It's like, oh my god, like nothing penetrates their thick skulls.
That's not what I was getting. I was getting that this was all shit they knew already, and they were humoring him to be polite.
Oh, maybe. I don't feel like Moomin Mom and Moomin Papa like know a lot about the universe. I don't get the impression that they're very knowledgeable Moomins. Maybe I'm being unfair to them, but
Well, one of the books is in fact literally about Moomin Papa's adventures as a young troll or Moomin or whatever, and how he sought out like the origins of the Hattie Fatteners.
You know what? You're right. I mean, they do mention that he does a lot of traveling in his youth because Moomin is all like, I want to do some of that too. And then I guess this is kind of the story of Moomin doing a little bit of that adventuring. It
Yeah,
doesn't.
his first little adventure.
Yeah.
This is actually based on the second book, but
Hmm.
it's kind of it's like Mega Man 2, where the second one really set the tone for the rest.
Right.
So,
I mean, I guess what is the theme of this special? I mean, it's about Moomin. Is it about Moomin hitting puberty because like he's all like, because when in the beginning he finds a pearl and he gives it to Moomin Mama, and she's like, I'll hold on to this because you might find a girl someday. And Moomin is like, girls, gross. And then like later on, they're like, hey, when he's out with on their way to the observatory where they're gonna get information about this comet, they see an ankle bracelet lying there, and Snufkin is like, "Yeah, a girl wore that," and Moomin is all of a sudden like, "Girl,
Oh, you didn't tell
gosh."
me girls had feet. Oh,
Yeah,
that
like
changes everything.
he's so into girls all of a sudden. As soon as they see this ankle bracelet, he is just over the Moomin for girls. Um,
Yeah, and little Maya's like, huh, Twitter pated.
Yeah, I mean, like she kind of is like that. It is funny though. The Snufkin kind of explains, like, I see, because they meet Snufkin, right? And
Yeah.
he's this guy who's kind of like, I guess he's just, what is he? He's just kind of like a wandering dude, I
Yeah,
guess.
he's a wanderer. He's kind of a human, but he's drawn so stylistically that it's hard to tell whether he's literally human or not. But
Yeah, he keeps making me. He looks like a kind of an over the garden wall character.
yeah, you can really see the influence that this had on Over the Garden Wall. I just watched Over the
Oh,
Garden Wall again recently. That's fantastic.
was this actually was actually over the garden wall kind of like, did it take inspiration from Moomin?
Oh, it took inspiration from a lot of things. My favorite thing that it takes inspiration from is vintage postcards. But
That I could see. Yes, I've definitely seen. I could tell that.
yes,
Moomin I didn't know about, but I can see it now that I think about it. Uh, okay. Well, I've not rewatched Over the Garden Wall. I think did we discuss this recently, where it turned out that I thought I didn't like it because I hated potatoes and molasses so much.
oh, and well, guess what song has been stuck in my head ever since I watched it?
Is it potatoes and molasses?
It's Potatoes and Molasses.
Oh, wait, maybe this wasn't on the show. No, I think I was just recently at some event where I was talking to someone, and Over the Garden Wall
Oh,
came up,
ah,
and I was kind of saying like, yeah, it's fine, but like, it didn't really, I didn't really like think it was that great, except for, I mean, I did like the parts with the beast, and I liked the parts with like, the frogs, and I liked all the bits where they have the houses that like connect, and the horse and the highwayman. And actually, now I think about it, I like most of it except for potatoes and molasses. So I think I just disliked potatoes and molasses so much that my brain rewrote itself to think that it disliked Over the Garden Wall, when actually I enjoyed it quite a bit. But yeah, I am not a fan of potatoes and molasses. That episode I thought was the nadir of the series. But the rest of it I think was pretty decent.
oh
Um,
yeah, I
um,
consider it a modern classic. So
yeah, yeah.
potatoes and molasses and all. So
Yeah, I mean, I guess I should probably give it another try one of these days,
yeah,
or rewatch. It's definitely there's a lot there.
yeah.
But anyway,
Too bad you came to this too late for us to make that our Halloween episode.
well, it's not based on a comic strip, so it would
Right.
be unfair to the listeners to do an
That's
episode about
right.
that. We wouldn't
Wink.
want to, yeah, we wouldn't want to like, we respect our listeners too much to do something like that. Um,
Yeah. Now,
anyway,
if it had been based on shirts, that would be different.
yes, exactly. That's why we did like 2 episodes about Big Dog.
Yes. We
Anyway,
did. Yeah, we did an episode about Big Dog and an episode about the Big Johnson, and we haven't yet watched Rude Dog and the Dweebs. So there's
not
another
yet.
one.
I can't wait till we do our Body Glove episode.
Body Glove.
Or no, not Body Glove. Sorry, AMC Surf, whatever.
TNC Surf Design.
TNC
Yeah.
Surf Decides. We're getting 4 Who Ripped. All right. Anyway, so but there was some. Oh yeah, so Moomin is really into this girl because Snufkin is like, oh, that's Snufkin is like, yeah, that's from a girl. Her name is Moodin Snork Maiden, and
Yes.
she wears like an ankle bracelet, and she's got like beautiful blonde hair. Beautiful blonde hair.
And that's all he had
So
to say, and now Moomin is just like, oh my god, I have got to taste that beautiful blonde hair.
yeah,
His whole
he is really into blondes, Moomin.
I was really hoping that he would get his first look at her and just cool on her immediately. Like, oh, that wasn't what I was imagining at all.
I mean, honestly, when I saw her, I was like, "That's it," because like I was like expecting like some I don't know like Farrah Fawcett blonde hair or
Yeah,
something. Instead, she's got like a little fringe, and it's barely even blonde. It's just
yeah.
slightly
She kind of has like a pixie cut or something, and
yeah. It's kind of ochre colored, honestly, but like, yeah. So I'm just like, that's it. Come on. Psh. I've been way oversold on this blonde hair.
yeah.
But she does. I guess Moomin gives her back her ankle bracelet, and she likes that. I mean, I guess there's something about a girl with an ankle bracelet.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not like she wears any other clothing. I mean, Moomin, it's sort of weird that she's just, that she looks at Moomin and she thinks, a handsome man, and not like, wow, you look just like me if I were nude and shaved my head.
yeah. It was like, oh, he's so handsome. Yeah, he looks exactly like you, and you look exactly like your brother. You're just Moomin. They're all Moomins.
Yeah.
Um, your brother Snork.
Your brother Snork, yeah,
Your
or
brother,
yeah, the Snork Maiden Master.
yes. Is he Snork or the Snork? I can't
He's
remember.
uh, generally he's Snork and she's the Snork Maiden, which
Mm.
is like the Homestar Runner.
Oh,
So,
right, right, right. Hey, have they ever done Home Stuck Runner?
uh, good question. I'll bet, man. But just imagine what you would get if you looked that up on AO3. Holy shit.
Oh boy, that feels like, yeah, that I feel like that would be a long fanfic.
That would be a
Uh,
long fanfic, even if you just narrowed it down to the chapters that were specifically about feet.
is that a thing in Home Stuck?
No, no, I'm just making a joke about fanfiction.
Oh, okay, all right. For a second, I was like, "Wow, Homestuck." I didn't realize it was foot related. Well, that changes
Well,
everything.
listen to the episode, you'll find out.
Maybe I will. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's just, I think it was a good thing I wasn't there because with three people, three voices, that's
Yeah.
that's already
That was my logic to it. I was
yeah.
like, yeah, we're going to be talking over each other, and somebody's going to feel like they're not getting enough in, and
Yeah.
we'll have to.
Well,
I'm not good enough at organizing podcasts to be like, okay, you've got the talking stick.
yeah. Well, especially because if I was there, I'd just be like home stuck, more like a home fuck, because home suck. That's
Yeah.
sorry. Because I just feel like I don't know what this is, and therefore I don't like it.
Well, I mean, we would have actually been talking about something we'd all watched, so you would know what it was.
Oh yeah, I guess because there was a cartoon, right?
Yes, and
They
we
made
weren't
a
talking about the actual comic strip. We were talking about the pilot.
they
So,
made a
for those of you
Homestuck
who weren't
cartoon.
here last week,
I can't believe they made a Homestuck cartoon. Well, I
well,
guess I
are
can.
making we don't know if the pilot is going to actually be the first episode or not.
Well, good luck for them on that. But Moomin. Okay, so basically, here's the bit. So Moomin mom and Moomin dad. No, okay. So there's they build a house in Moomin Valley,
Yes.
and that
And it's not like a wacky cartoon house or anything. It's a really gorgeous like Victorian house. They live in an absolute they live just like humans do, but they are these kind of bipedal white hippos with long tails.
yes, and building the house busted up the philosopher's house in the river or something. So he comes to
Yeah.
live with them. They're this is the interesting thing because like the way that again he's like you broke you destroyed my house my hole that I live in the river and they're kind of like Moomin mom and Moomin dad are like oh well come on we'll set up a room for you and it's like okay, so again, are you just is he going to live with you indefinitely? Is that the plan? Because like, how are you? What is going on here? Because I was kind of like, it's really nice that Moomin mom and Moomin dad are taking him in, and they seem very like. They seem like they genuinely are upset that they destroyed his house unknowingly.
Yes.
But it's like, what is the plan here? Are you going to rebuild a house for him? Are you going to build a house for him? Because since you are house builders, or you're just going to live with you from now on. I'm not really sure where they're going with this because
I think there
again,
just wasn't time to discuss it because, immediately after the rainstorm that he comes out of, we get the first plot point, which is that everything is covered in some sort of black cosmic soot.
oh, that's
So,
right, space
so
dust.
immediately they have to move on to the idea of the comet, which the philosopher has figured out is happening already, although he doesn't know specifically that it's a comet. But somebody heard about the comet, and that's what sends Moomin Troll and his friends on their big adventure to the observatory. So, until then, the muskrat is just sort of living out of a hammock.
Yes.
He didn't own anything, but he had a hole, and it was his. So
Yeah, I mean, as a philosopher, he doesn't need worldly possessions.
yes,
So the philosopher, again, Moomin Mom and Moomin Dad really unbothered by any of this stuff. They really take it in stride. But since there is a comet coming, I guess they decide Moomin should go to the observatory and get more information about this comet. So Moomin goes with Little May and Sniff, and
yes,
they meet Snufkin along the way, and he joins their party. You have added
yes.
a ranger to your party.
Yeah.
And they have a couple of adventures, I guess, along the way.
They do
Um,
fight a dragon, but it's a very kind of minor dragon that looks more like a large Gila monster.
yeah, it's more of a bearded dragon, I guess, if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we're not
because
sure if the dragon is actually trying to eat Snufkin, or no, eat Sniff, or just get his pack and the food that's in it.
right. Is this dragon supposed to be like guarding or hoarding these gemstones? Because there's a valley full of gemstones, and
Yes.
Sniff wants them, and it's
Yeah. And it doesn't go the way I thought it was going to be because Snufkin says, "Oh, by the way, there's a valley of precious gems over the way," and Sniff is like, "I want them all. I'm going to learn a lesson about greed." And so they find the valley, and he's just like, "Look, I want them all. I want them all. Well, this one isn't that good. I'm just going to take the medium-sized to big ones. Okay, maybe just the big ones. Okay, maybe just the best big ones." And I thought it was going to end with him leaving with none because he was just like, none of them were really up to snuff. But
yeah. It doesn't really go that way, but then he meets a dragon, and the dragon basically bites his backpack, so he loses all the gemstones and learns
yeah,
nothing from the experience. Yeah, this does feel like this whole sequence. In fact, Sniff as a character does feel like, oh, are we watching like Humania or Superbook or some sort of like show they show you in like Sunday school? We're gonna learn about like important lessons about godly living, but we don't really have any. Things happen and. Don't really have impact on stuff because this is Finnish, and the Finns, as we know, are a godless people. So there's not a lot of moral instruction in Moomin, which is probably why people like it so much. Because
yes,
as even though I didn't, like I said, even though I'm kind of like, yeah, it's fine. It is nice that it isn't preaching at you.
yeah,
It's nice that it's just like things are happening. In fact, that is movement is it's things happen. Things just happen, and
yeah,
then they're fine. That's kind of how it is. Because they have this little dragon adventure. Then they find the ankle bracelet. And is there anything else before they go to the observatory? I can't remember.
I think the observatory is next. So
Okay.
yeah, but then we have this scene where hilariously they're camping out just outside the observatory, like just go in,
Yeah.
and and Moomin puts on the anklet himself, and it feels like he's like, oh wow, dress go spinny.
Yeah, yeah, I was thinking that too. It was like literally, it's the only piece of feminine clothing. There is nothing else, because what
Yeah,
else?
even his mother is nude.
Yeah, it's like the only other thing you can wear is like, well, I guess you could wear a top hat if you're a guy, or
Oh,
like
that's right.
glass.
That's right. His dad is wearing a top hat. His mother is wearing a striped apron.
Yeah.
And that's right. But she doesn't wear the striped apron at the table, so So she does go nude a lot of the time. Oh, she's a Ferengi.
Yeah, and I guess Snork has glasses that are looped on his ears, kind of with bits of wire or something. I guess.
Yeah. I
I
mean, how
guess.
else are you going to get them to attach? I mean,
Yeah, that's the thing is he puts on glasses. I will say this. I appreciate that they actually like took the time to figure out how glasses work with those Moomin ears because I feel like a lot of animated specials just be like, oh, he's just yeah, they just are on. You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah.
The legs don't go anywhere. So they put a little thought into that, which is nice.
Yeah, it's kind of like how you can read endless Uncle Scrooge comics and watch DuckTales, and someone will have to point out to you that Uncle Scrooge's glasses don't have earpieces; they just rest on his bill like they're lodged there like Lego.
Yeah, it always reminds me of that. Like when Duckman loses his glasses in one episode, and it's like, wait a minute, his eyes are on his glasses.
Yeah,
Well, we
like
never
Scooter
noticed
from
this.
Muppet Babies. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. um,
and Scooter
so
the Muppet. Now that I think of it.
that's true. That is true. So they go to, but anyway, so the Moomins they get to the observatory where there's a bunch of nerds
Yes,
and
a bunch of very self-righteous nerds.
yeah, they're very excited that they're gonna be famous for seeing a comet
Yeah.
and
My favorite thing is that one of the scientists says, "Because I discovered this comet, I'm going to name it after myself." And no one asks his name. We never learn the name of this scientist or the comet that's named after
yeah,
him.
it is great because Sniff is, at this point Sniff is. I think as Moomin completely fucks up talking to a scientist because all he wants to ask about is Snork Maiden. And
Yeah.
Sniff is like, "You idiot! I'll show you how to do it." And because Sniff understands how this game is played because Sniff probably being a self-interested kind of character
Yeah.
understands that like everybody loves praise
Yeah, he's
and
basically Eddie Haskell, isn't he?
yeah, he really is. So he goes up to the scientist and he's all like, basically like, buttering this guy's buns. And the scientist says, like, since I discovered, I'm going to name it after me. And Sniff is like, oh, how prestigious to be named after such a famous and well-known scientist. Again, we don't
As
know who this
you.
guy is. Yeah. So that is kind of amusing. I will give credit where it's due. That was
Yeah.
funny.
We're about somebody should have said we're going to be destroyed by that scientist guy comet.
Yeah. Yeah, the scientist does say something about like when I first saw the comet, it was really tiny, like a flea, but then it kept getting bigger and bigger. And it's like, do
Ooh.
you mean it got closer? Or is it actually growing? Because I don't know if comets do that. I guess they do. I guess they start
I
from
don't
nothing
know.
at some point.
I
They
mean,
must.
they collide with stuff and would get bigger, but stuff falls off of them too. That's why they have tails.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I guess yeah. I mean, I don't know much about astronomy, so I can't
I
say
mean, a
much.
comet is basically Lassie. It's a star with a tail.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, I think they do. I believe that Snufkin misdefines a comet in this because he calls it like a big ball of like fire or something, and it's like I believe a comet is a big ball of ice.
Yes,
If it
as we
was,
all learned from Futurama.
yes, exactly. So I hope someone got fired over that blunder.
Drink.
But anyway, they go to the observatory. They realize the comet is going to come and kill everyone, so they have to go back to Moomin Valley to warn. I guess everyone already knows this because
Yeah,
everyone's
everyone already
already.
knows, because by the time they get there, everyone is fleeing. It looks like it looks like the escaping. I don't know, Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah. So they're all escaping. So really, the whole point, the entire journey to the observatory was really not necessary. But like, we did get to. Oh, I forgot. We also on the way back from the observatory, Snork Maiden almost gets eaten by a plant,
Yeah,
and
that's where they meet them. They hear Snork Maiden calling, and they run to her rescue and discover that she's being eaten by the second boss of Altered Beast.
yeah, yeah, it's the what do they call it? Agoria plant or something? I can't remember. They call it something.
Angostura, like the bitters. So it's a plant that you use in drinks.
Oh, okay. I
Drink.
did. Yeah, well, Chimanese. Okay, so they managed to stop this plant by insulting it. So instead, it tries to eat Snork and Moomin. And
Yeah.
Snork Maiden gets away, and then they cut off all its eyes and tell it like, "You better behave." And the plant is very chagrined.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I was using those eyes. Excuse
Yeah.
me.
But I guess that's an action sequence, so we get a
Yeah,
little
the
bit of
eyes
that.
all have little tentacles, so I was expecting them to get up and run away.
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess they leave the plant with one eye, so
Yeah,
just so kids don't get too upset about this whole thing.
yeah.
Um,
So they don't. So it's clear that they are not killing the plant. They are just, taking away its ability to attack. Much
yes,
like, much like when there's an Oz book where the Shaggy Man gets attacked by a porcupine that can blast its quills in all directions. But he can only do it once, and then he has to go back and pick up his quills.
yeah.
So,
I mean,
they pick up the quills and put them in a bag, and the porcupine is like, "This is the cruelest thing I've ever heard of. How would you feel, Shaggy Man, if I took away your shags?" And the Shaggy Man said, "Well, if I threw my shags to hurt people, you'd be welcome to take them."
he's got a point there.
Yeah.
If you took away my shags, oh, you'd never know the philosophy of the world. Then,
Buckle wow, buckle wow.
what about my friend Foot? Okay, anyway. Got to get them while they're hot. So they defeat this plant, and then they are gonna get to the. They're gonna get back home to the valley. That's where they
Yeah.
meet the Hemulon.
Yeah, the Hemulin is one of the last ones trailing behind. What about we forgot about the part where it briefly turns into Toilers of the Sea, where
Oh,
they're
well,
where they're literally crossing the dried up ocean. I don't know. I never quite figured out why the ocean has dried up, but they're crossing it on stilts for some reason. Like 15-foot stilts.
yeah. I mean, I assumed that like the bottom of the dry ocean, maybe it's still like soggy. So
Yeah.
maybe that's what's going on. But yeah, that's right, because they see a shipwreck that's now visible, and it's
Yeah.
still full of water though, because water has pooled in the bottom of the shipwreck. And Snork Maiden uh, goes and falls in,
Yeah,
and then
because there's treasure all around. Sniff finds a cool dagger, and but Snork Maiden finds a really cool mirror, and in the bottom of the pool, Moomin comes in to look at it, and he finds a giant octopus.
yeah, so yeah, he and Snufkin fall in, and they have a lot of trouble getting out because an octopus is going to get him. But then
Yeah,
uh,
Stork Maiden figures out that she can blind the octopus with the light from the mirror, and well, actually, no, it's Little Mai who explains that, and Snork Maiden keeps getting it wrong, and they have to do it over and over again. So, the octopus just keeps coming back, and they blind it again, and then it comes back, and they blind it again, and meanwhile, Moomin and Snufkin are like, "What are you doing up there?"
Snork Maiden, like seriously, what a girl.
Yeah.
Real head empty, no thoughts. This one, um,
I
but
mean, when I said I was attracted to women who remind me of hippos, this wasn't how I meant.
no. I mean, I feel like, if I had to say, like, who's the most attractive woman in the Moomin verse?
Probably
Uh,
Mimble.
which one's Mimble? Oh, the sister, right? The older
Yeah, you
sister.
see her at the very beginning, because she just looks like a human.
Yeah, I mean, she's fine. She looks like one of those. She looks like one of those chapter illustrations in Narnia books for some reason. I don't know why. Some
Yeah,
like maybe like a
she
puddle
looks like
glum.
yeah, she looks. Oh, I was gonna say she looks like the Reverend Fearless Patience. But
Oh yeah. Now that's a deep cut. Um, so yeah. Let's see. So yeah, they cross the ocean that has dried up for reasons, and they arrive.
And
And
everyone in town, which they were like, "Oh, I didn't know we had a town. I didn't know this many people lived in Moomin Valley." Everyone, which includes human-like people, weasel-like people, people that are like kind of half human and half Moomins. But not a lot of people are just straight up Moomins. Apart
yeah.
from these three that are just standing there in a line, and they just look like paper dolls.
Yeah. And of course, Hemulons, which are Moomin-ish, but not
Yeah.
Moomins. They're something else.
Oh, and
Um,
then there's Mr. Fubble. What the fuck is Mr. Fubble?
oh, yeah, he's some sort of. He's the guy on the bike, right?
Yeah, he's like a doll, or maybe a snowman, or both.
Yeah, he's very, like, naughty and Toyland coded.
Yeah, and he
Um,
has this spherical furry body, and I don't know what's going on with him, but he's got a baby on his back that never says a word. And then and he's on a bicycle that they said, well, I haven't fixed the brakes yet. The problem with them is that there aren't any.
that is a problem.
Yeah,
So yeah, so he is. So we see him, and then we see the Hemulon, who
yeah.
is concerned with his
Overly
stamp.
concerned with his stamp collection.
Yeah,
And he's also dressed like Ebenezer Scrooge, like he just got out of bed.
yeah, because I guess this is a thing that like they have to get to the Moomin house, so they notice that the wind causes his his shift to kind of inflate like a parachute. So they like use so that inspires them to use Snufkin's tent to do the same. And they
Yeah. So they parasail home. Yeah.
yes, and this and Hemulon is now joining them. He's part of this thing, and
Yeah.
he's
I was like, did they even invite him? I guess they were just like, we can't leave him behind.
Yeah, though he is again. He's just like, "Oh, my stamp collection!" Whoa, whoa. And when they arrive, it's just this thing where it's like he's like,
Yeah.
"I'm so sad, my stamps are gone." And Moomin Mom and Moomin Dad are like, "Oh, don't worry. A book of stamps mysteriously appeared in our garden. You can have it." And again, that's the thing about Moomin Mom and Moomin Dad. It's like their complete inability to understand any situation. It's like they genuinely do not seem to understand that is his book. They literally seem to think it is just an astounding coincidence that a book of stamps appeared at the same time that a guy directly above their house lost a book of stamps. It's like,
Who was it? Who was the person who had, was it like, oh, I forget, the guy who was like the last member of his tribe or something like that, who did not believe in cause and effect, and every time they tried to prove cause and effect to him, something went wrong, and he'd be like, "You see,
oh, you mean Ishi?
Ishi, yes,
Interesting. I didn't know about that, but that does kind of scan. I think I remember that like he had a very unique way of looking at the world. I
yeah."
think. Yeah. So Moomin Mom and Moomin Dad are similar. They have I'll charitably say they have a unique way of looking at the
Yes.
world.
Well, most illuminated by the fact that literally everyone in town has left, to the point where they're like, oh, there's a town now. We never saw all these people before. But because they said they'd be waiting for Moomin Troll because it's his birthday, they're hanging out at the house baking a giant cake for him.
Was I must have missed this earlier. Was it established earlier that it was his birthday? Because I first I heard of it was when they were turning and Moomin's just like, I gotta get home, it's my birthday. And I was like, oh, it is? I don't remember that, but okay. So maybe I missed it. I don't know.
I can only assume that this movie mostly takes place in real time. Like it all did in fact happen over the course of an hour and 8 minutes.
Oh, maybe it happened over the course of a year. It was from one birthday to the next. But yeah, they all return, and then once they get back, then they decide, I guess, now that everyone's back, they are going to flee the valley, but
Yeah.
like in an orderly and slow fashion. Definitely
My other
taking.
thought is that maybe Moomin Valley is, it actually has time go slower. So like, an hour here is like, 2 hours here is like an hour elsewhere.
Oh, we're doing like Narnia time here or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, so that makes as much sense as anything because they basically put Snork in charge of like uh I guess the evacuation because
yeah.
he's very
And then
logical, I
proceed to
guess.
ignore him and just take whatever they want.
Yeah, it's like again, I guess it's like whatever, why not? It's not like I guess Moon Dad and Moon Mom are very interesting because they do that thing where they're very just go with the flow. Like they are, I guess this is a very typical parent thing where they will agree with you on everything and then just do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, that's what parents are like. That's for sure.
Yeah, so I guess that is accurate. I give points to that Finnish lesbian. She got that right.
Yeah,
So they leave. The philosopher at first does not want to come, but changes his mind and decides to
yeah.
live. Um,
He's like, I can't hear my own thoughts with all that in sound. Let me in. So he just keeps showing up at their doorstep uninvited. So, he's like Calvin and Hobbes. We don't attend parties. We just crash them.
yeah, he's cool. I like him. So then basically they're in this cave. The comet
Yeah. Oh,
comes.
Sniff found this cave at the beginning of the movie. It's when they were at the beach where they found the pearl. So
Yes.
all this time they've been like, we know we can take shelter in the cave, so we won't have to leave the valley. So
Yes.
they like hollow out their house and move it room by room to this cave.
Yes. And then the comet comes, but it turns out the comet doesn't hit. It just buzzes Earth. That's
Yeah,
it.
it just yeah. The synopsis that I read suggested that the comet miraculously changed direction. I thought it just came real close, but didn't actually enter our gravity well or something.
I mean, that's
So
what seems to have happened. It's just it for reasons. The comet doesn't hit, and everything is fine.
yeah. So
So
basically, this is what was happening on the other side of the world during the opening to The Good Dinosaur.
yeah. So here's what has gone on. Moomin goes to an observatory to get information about a comet that everyone already knew, and then the comet just doesn't do anything. So everything in this special was entirely pointless, except I
Yes.
guess that Moomin now knows what girls are. So
Yes.
you know,
Yeah, we
um,
do see Snork and Snork Maiden multiple times in other books, so they are established characters now. So
yeah. So Moomin has learned. Moomin now knows what girls are, and he knows that you can mesmerize a girl with a
but giving her a piece of
ankle.
cheese.
If you give her a piece of cheese, I was gonna say ankle bracelet. That piece of cheese is better. That works actually. That works in real life. But one thing that I forgot to mention. But I feel like again, really feels extremely Finnish. Is that when they first meet Snorkin earlier in this special, he's
Hmm.
all like, "You got any coffee?" And they're like, "Yes, we
Yeah,
do. We are children with coffee." It's like, what?
yeah. Well, yes, I have some right here," says Sniff, who is kind of betraying his usual greedy nature. But I guess his greed is only really for money because there's also the part where he goes back for a kitten when they're going to the cave.
Oh yeah, yeah. Which I guess is I guess that's him being brave or something, or his
I
redemption
guess,
arc,
but
I
I'm not
think.
really sure what happens because they have to carry him back, and they don't really explain what happened. He's just like, "Oh, my feet don't work anymore."
Oh yeah, they say like, are they paralyzed from fear? And I actually thought what was being implied is he's like, I can't move because the cat's sitting in my lap, and I don't
That
want
was
to.
my thought too.
Which I would be like, you know what, that's fair, that's fair.
Yeah,
But I guess he just got scared, so they were like, because he's a huge coward, so they had to carry him. So like again, not much, not like exactly like. Well, again, one of the nice things about Moomin is no instructive nothing here, no
no,
imitatable behavior, nothing instructive, nothing edifying. You will learn nothing
you
from
know,
Moomin. It's just stuff happens. But
yes,
good for kids.
yeah,
It's fun.
there is no moral lesson to be had. There is no part, there is no part where our main character finally learns the lesson that was imparted in Act 1 as laid out in Save the Cat.
Yes.
It is absolutely pre-algorithm, and we appreciate that about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess
This is like Garfield. This is the product of a singular mind.
yes. It's extremely Scandinavian. It feels like you're wandering through an IKEA. Like you know, every character feels like they should be have plushies in a bin at the checkout of IKEA, you know?
What was the last plushie you got at IKEA?
The Blahaj shark, I guess.
Oh, you have the shark? Yeah. I don't have the shark, but I have the octopus that was part of that set.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean they're cute. They're all cute.
Yeah.
But
Really comfortable too.
yeah, yeah. It's
The
always
first time
great.
I came to visit you, I left my IKEA heart pillow on your bed.
That's right. I
It lived there
remember
forever.
that. Yep, yep. Well, it's always fun going to the IKEA because you get to look at all the fun Swedish little things, and they've set up those little rooms, and they say like, look, you can populate your entire room for this amount of money, and it's like, yeah, but it's not going to look like this because
No.
I don't live it. I don't have a nice little higgy Swedish house.
Swedish.
Swedish.
Sweet.
I don't live in Sweden.
Yes. I'm not a squeed or the squeed maiden.
Yeah, it's like, excuse me, you're not Swedish. But like really, honestly, whenever my wife is always like, you want to go to the IKEA, and I'm like, yeah, sure, we can go to the IKEA, I guess. But really, the important thing is, it's like at the end, I want the Swedish meatballs.
Yes.
I want to go get the Swedish food at the end. That's the big selling point of IKEA. But I always thought it was weird because, like, by the end, you're just like, they have that big warehouse, and it's always like, oh, you gotta like pull a thing off a shelf. I don't know how things work in Sweden.
The way that you actually buy the furniture in IKEA, it feels like how you used to buy Nintendo games at Toys R Us, where you had to take a tag off the wall for the one you wanted and then trade it in for the game and pay cash because they did not trust you to not walk away with your pants full of games.
Yeah, it's like going to an old-timey general store, where you have to ask a guy for like, I want like 3 barrels of beans. Then he just goes in the back and like brings them out to you.
I don't want fop. I'm a Dapper Dan man.
Yeah, exactly. That's a geographical anomaly. 5 days from everywhere. Classic of Coen Brothers. Anyway, so that is, I guess. But then the comet doesn't hit, and the ocean comes back, and everything's bueno. Everything's great. Everyone's happy.
Except that the muskrat sat on the cake.
Oh, that's right. He sat on the cake. We got some real cake farts going on here.
Someone left the cake out in my fur.
Yeah. So other than that, everything seems pretty okay, I guess.
Yes. Yes, and the pearl gets given to Snork Maiden. So now they are officially a couple.
Yeah, good for them. Good for them. So now Moomin and Snork Maiden are, I guess they're gonna, whatever.
They're gonna have they're gonna have Snork Baby and the girl Snork Baby.
The girl Snork Baby. Yeah. So that's Moomin. I guess it's fun for kids.
I feel like when you say that, you're giving something a C minus.
I'm just no, like I'm just saying is like, as an old person, I can no longer see the world with the eyes of a child. So if I were a kid, I think I'd probably give this a B plus. No, you know what? I that's not right. That's not true. It's got like, I'd give it an A minus because it's got characters with snouts in it. So I would definitely like
true.
that. I love
you really gotta get that side of your childhood, why is it that when I was a kid, I thought that, the absolute coolest dinosaur was the pteranodon and not the pterodactyl?
Yeah, yeah.
Why? What was very specifically? It was because it had a beak and not teeth, and any flying dinosaur that didn't have a bony crest sucked.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the sort of logic you have as a kid. Things just appeal to you, and I was really into snouts, so and I did like hippos a lot as a kid. So I feel like the Moomins themselves would really appeal to me,
Yeah.
and I think also Sniff's character design, because he's kind of got this very Bandicoot type look,
Yeah.
which I kind of would have been digging. And there's a dragon in this. So a lot of that stuff would have carried a lot of weight. Because, like, again, when you're a kid and you watch an animated feature, you're not like going to be like, well, what's the theme of this one? What's the character arc? You're not going to think that way. You're just like seeing stuff happen on screen. And all this stuff is stuff that as a kid, I would have been like, yeah, this is all good. It's not like if we watched the Moomin with like the Groke, I probably would have docked a few points because the Groke just has a weird flat face and I don't like that. But lots of snouts in this one, so that's good. But as an adult, like as an old person, I'd be like, yeah, it's fine. I'd give it a B.
I have a little more experience with the Moomin stuff in general than you do, but as I may be giving it more credit than I would because I know what's coming, what's next. And I don't know if because this is actually a kind of a prequel to a anime that had come before it. This came out in 1992, so just 3 years before Bart's Comet.
Oh wow, wow. I hope they sued over that. Yeah, like say like I will say Bart's Comet is better
I
because
mean, how can it not be? It's one of the single best episodes of the show.
it's a classic. It's a great episode. It is the first appearance of Database, who I believe is Matt Groening's favorite character in the entire
What?
series.
Really? Who the fuck knows how Matt Groening thinks? God. If I
Yeah.
knew, I'd have created The Simpsons myself.
Yeah, I mean, he apparently thinks that Hypnotoad is the greatest thing ever. So who knows how he thinks? He's a wild man. I do like that. I mean, Bart's Comet is like there's a lot of good stuff in it. It's what season of Simpsons is it? It's
Like 6?
yeah, that's classic. That between 2 and 10, the good stuff.
Yeah.
But, now I don't know. Watching modern Simpsons is weird. It's very weird now because
Yeah. It's like, why are you still doing this? This is
yeah,
a 90s thing.
yeah,
Shouldn't this be like, a poorly conceived reboot on the level of the new Powerpuff Girls?
yeah. I feel like at this point it's just that the Simpsons have been going so long they're afraid to stop it. Kind of like it would cause it would presage some great catastrophe if we stopped the Simpsons. It's like
It
kind
would
of
call down a comet.
yeah, like it's some sort of like biblical prophecy about the Simpsons ending. It would be like end of times. So now we're like we have to keep it going. It's like listing all the names of God. But yeah, but now whenever I see clips of it online, which you do occasionally, and it's like it's always stuff like it's weird because first of all it's all like really like crisp and computer animated,
Yeah.
so it's like suddenly all the like there's like a ridiculous amount of like jokey word things in the background, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be looking at that? Okay. But also like all the episodes seem to be like, well, what if everyone in Springfield tried Ozempic? Oh,
Yeah.
what if everyone in Springfield was vaping? what if everyone
What
in
if we did the movie Weapons over again? What if we did the movie Sinners over again?
Yeah.
What if we did K-pop Demon Hunters? There, I'll bet I've just guessed next year's Halloween episode.
Yeah, it's like, what if that thing that is popular right now was in The Simpsons? And it's like, you realize that's something that it's weird to do now, because it's like you realize that the way this is no longer the 90s where, like, one meme will last months, because, like, do you remember, like, in the 90s when they had the "What's Up" Budweiser ad, and
Oh
like
Lord.
years of content from that thing. Now it's like a meme lasts what, like 10 minutes, if that
Yeah.
long. Now it's like, I'm sorry, like, because like half the I mean, honestly, like half the time when I see comedy, I'm just like, I assume these are referencing memes that were like big for a minute, and I just don't recognize because they make no sense to
Yeah.
me. You know, um,
And
you
of
know,
course, and the turnaround time for animation is so long that, by now they might as well be, I'll bet probably at some point this season they got around to having a Borzoi doing "Let Me Do It For You."
oh yeah, I'm sure the Simpsons they're probably doing Skibbity Toilet right now.
Oh, I'm
And
sure, yeah. Well, I mean, right now they're just advertising their Fortnite crossover. Fuck the Simpsons.
oh
Jesus.
god, wow, it is this perhaps, have we ever seen anything about as as indicative of the capitalism subsumes all critiques into itself as The Simpsons? Because it is hard to describe to kids of this modern era that The Simpsons was actually rather transgressive in its heyday. I mean, it was controversial. Um,
Freaking George H.W. Bush specifically said, "We need a nation closer to the Waltons than the Simpsons."
Yeah, it actually is kind of weird to think that there was a time when there were things were put on television, like mainstream television, that were to some degree, even though it was more of a monoculture than it is now, because there were, fewer, like things weren't
There are fewer things competing with TV for your eyes.
yeah, yeah. In that sense, but there were things that were put on that were to some degree, like, divisive, like things that, like, actually, like, if they wanted to appeal to young people, they actually had to tweak, the squares' noses, a little bit,
Yeah.
because, like, the Simpsons, yeah, like that was, I remember, like, if you were a kid in like 1990, your parents may be like, I don't want you watching those Simpsons,
Yeah.
or like things like Beavis and Butthead. That was highly controversial at the time,
Yeah.
Um,
Because it
uh,
told the truth.
yeah, that's right. It did. That, like, things suck.
Yeah.
Um,
So, you like stuff that's cool. I don't like stuff that sucks. Some people just can't handle the truth.
yeah, man, parents really didn't like that. They were like, we don't want you watch. We don't like that they used the word "butt" on that show. Then yeah, and Bart, did he talked back to his parents? He said, "Don't have a cow, man." Boy, did parents hate that. Um,
I really loved that when they were actually getting Beavis and Butthead started, some of the MTV executives were kind of, unwilling to say the name. They would say to Mike Judge, "Yeah, we love your Beavis and and he just let them hang, leaves them hanging like Beavis and what?"
I do think it is hilarious about Beavis and Butthead to this day that, like, he's just a guy named Butthead, and everyone calls him that on the show. Like, everyone, like Mr. Van Driesen calls him Butthead, like it's
Yeah,
normal. That's
but that's just like his name, and
it's pretty funny. You know what? I'm gonna say this. I was not really a big fan of Beavis and Butthead when I was, younger. Like, when I was the
yeah,
target
when you were
demographic.
the age of Beavis and Butthead, as I
Yeah, yeah.
was when they came out.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, "Oh, that's beneath me. I'm too smart for that." You know what I mean? I was one of those kids. I was
Yeah.
like, "No, no, no. The real rock and roll is respecting your parents." But like, but as an adult, I've watched it and I'm like, you know what? This is actually, there's something here. And
Yes.
I'll even say this. I actually enjoyed the reboot where they're old better than the young. I actually I thought that I wouldn't, but when I saw, like, old Beavis and Butthead, and I was like, I like that they're my age. I like that they're old pieces of shit like me. This is actually very relatable and good. So good on Mike Judge. That was good. He's got it. He's still got it. Um, unlike some people who don't got it anymore. But you know,
We're looking at you. Your name here.
yeah. I don't know who I was thinking of actually, but I was just saying it because some people aren't cool anymore. Some people just aren't cool. But
Yeah. I mean, a
but
lot of people aren't cool anymore. Damn, there are people. There are people I would have taken a bullet for in 1994 that I would, gladly step aside for the bullet now.
yeah, man, that's part of the thing about this modern world right now is we're finding out so many people are not cool. And I
Yeah.
think that, and especially for Gen Xers like us, Zennials like us, that hurts because, being cool was very important, I think because like Mike Judge is, he's still a little cool. I don't know about his politics.
Yeah.
I never want to hear about his politics. Um,
Yeah.
but I'm thinking of like, you remember that other guy? What's his name? The guy who looks like Mike Judge, but is not Mike Judge. Um,
I don't know.
Dilbert, the Dilbert man.
Scott Adams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy's not cool. That guy sucks. He's, but and think about a lot of the creators from our youth have turned out
Yeah.
to really suck.
Like Bill Cosby and
Bill Cosby.
John Christopher.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
Neil Gaiman.
wow, bunch of losers, those guys.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah. Oh yeah, and what is that? The comedian or all the comedians, honestly, they
Yeah,
all
for
suck.
real.
Oh God,
You know,
that
what comedian didn't turn out to suck? Shoot. I mean, I think I don't know. I think Jim Carrey said something that wasn't so nice recently, but I think he walked it back. I don't know.
I mean, I assume he sucks just because he's married to like Jenny McCarthy.
Oh, he
And
is. Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, and I mean, and she invented being an anti-vaxxer.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know anything specific about him. I guess Patton Oswalt is probably okay, as far as I know. He
Yeah,
hasn't.
as far as I can tell, yeah, he seems to be okay.
He
And
seems okay.
again, I'll always be astonished that we have Tom Arnold's resistance arc going on. But
Oh yeah, that's so weird. Is he a resistance
Tom
guy?
Arnold?
That is,
Yeah. I mean, it's not like he's gone full progressive. He's kind of a boomer anti-Trump lib, but at the same time, it's like Tom Arnold going that far.
I mean, I would not have expected it because, well, first of all, his associate with Roseanne, but also
Yeah.
his whole vibe.
Well, I mean, he probably learned enough about Roseanne to be like, whatever she does, I am going the other way from now on.
But yeah, it's just his whole vibe feels very Barstool Sports, so I'm surprised. But good on him. Good on him. And yeah, what we live in strange times. But it's also funny that I guess going to space has turned William Shatner good. Interestingly,
Did it? Huh.
I mean, relatively speaking, I'm sure he's still an asshole who talks out of his ass a lot. But it's funny that he apparently went to space and came back and was like, you know what? Maybe we should not destroy the Earth. Maybe actually it would be good to save the environment so that we have a place to live. Which,
Oh, really? I wonder what cored him out and moved into his skin while he was up there.
yeah, apparently being in space does that to a lot of people. I don't know why I didn't do it to Jeff Bezos, but
I believe the phrase is they should have sent a poet.
yeah, maybe they should have. Anyway, so as we're saying, strange times. People are weird. People contain
Yes.
multitudes.
And that's how you know that that Comet in Moominland is a fantasy. Because if this were happening now, everyone would be standing on the tops of their houses, holding up big pro-Comet signs and cheering, "Yes, Comet, Comet, Comet!"
Yeah, in these days of modern times, people would probably be filming the comet with their iPhones. Boy, that's a good one. I like to see Banksy do something about that. Man, what he could draw like Ronald McDonald snorting up corporate logos like it's cocaine. Banksy, my boy, you've done it again.
Did he do that? Oh my god!
Probably. I don't know. I just feel like it's a very Banksy type thing to do. Anyway, but yeah, Moomin. It's fun. It's cute. It's cute.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we should say about Moomin or anything at this point? Why not? We're talking about people, and we're talking about people in this modern age, apparently.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm Finnish.